42%. The hell is that? Can you hear me now? Microphone array. Thumbs up. Can you hear me? Blah, blah. Now you can hear me? There we go. Oh, man. That guy had me laughing. That's funny shit. Who is that guy? You got a free fucking paint can, dude. I'm kidding. Oh, you look like my ex-wife. Your lips are moving, but I can't hear anything you're saying. My ex-wife used to do the same thing. It was like the Charlie Brown mom thing, like wah 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 wah. And I was like, like give her that face. That's funny. My ex-wife. So I said the craziest shit is happening lately. Well, lately since last night. So today I was going through it, man. I'm I'm trying to get out in this garage, and I have so many of these freaking orders I got to send out to people. I'm waiting on the boxes finally got here. I got all the boxes I need to ship, all the extra paint cans I needed. I now have 16 more. 16, 8, 24, another 29 on top of 14. So give me a couple days and all your shit will be out. I am not cashing any more checks until I send these bastards all out with the ones that are already owed. So I got to get these all off of my back. That's my big goal for the next couple days. But last night I started digging into this framework of like AI and whatever. I don't know if how many of you guys have watched that video that I made last night? I made a video last night at like 3 a.m. I just reading and going through my emails. Um, you can set your emails up to use key trigger words, and it will like scrape the internet for whatever that topic is. Janine Bierstead, she says good. It was really good. All right, so that's the birth of AI. Um, in this digitized world where everything gets a timestamp and everything gets cataloged and recorded. That's important shit, man. You have to understand the evolution of DARPA, and you have to start looking at like it's not just what DARPA did. It's like the governmental behavior. Like what did the House of Representatives vote in for whatever reasons? These small incremental steps into the next thing, and it's almost like people will say, "Oh, well, that's because it was under Obama, or that was because it was under Trump," and I think that they're 4 years ahead of the game, and they already have pre-designed, like we all do, like they're selected, not elected. But that when they're brought in specifically in droves across the board in their areas, in such a corrupt manner to install the system that they're working towards. You gotta wonder how they've been coerced into doing that. The lockstep, yeah. But it cut out after 7 minutes if I got the right video. It was the one I did last night, like the beginning of the final goal from its beginning, I think I labeled that one. Bullshit, they're all in on it, yeah. They know exactly what they're doing for sure. Yeah, I don't know if they know that they're doing it, like, what it is they're doing. They're just like, "Hey, we'll give you $400,000 if you sit in that chair over there, put on a fancy fucking suit, look important, and just say yes, and you'll get to live it up with everybody else." I mean, you got the other people like that are, um, you know, bleed overs through birth, like Adam Schiff for one, like go back and I'm telling you, I already did this. I'm not good. My son was arguing about it with me, and I'm telling him, I'm like, buddy, listen to me. You don't understand. I've been through this already. Adam Schiff, for one, right? Adam Schiff is a California House of Representatives chair on the Intelligence Committee for, well, I think Trump's first term, and I don't know if that was the only time, but I went and I started looking into this whole Israel connection thing, the Rothschild bankers thing. The Bolshevik Revolution was started and funded by Khazarians, right? Right? Khazarian um, mind fucks, like they are now. Uh, Trotsky and Lenin were both So they weren't, obviously none of them are actually like religious Jewish, right? So and this is a tricky topic, but so there are these convert Jews, and um, in the overthrow, they what they did was convince the Labor Party, through Marxism, obviously Marxism, but look that guy's name up. It was something Levy. I can't remember his whole name, Karl Marx, but also a Jewish convert, um, but still a non-practicing Jew. Like I think they moved to Germany. His family moved to Germany, and they hid as Catholics, right? So we're always talking about the snake people or the reptile people. They're in all of our religions. They sway all of our religions. They sway the way that things go in each sect of any type of religion, all the way through the Asian stuff. And like that's where it gets I'm mesmerized by that. That's a little bit bigger than I want to bite into. But it's like world dominance as they are imposters and all these different things. So this Adam Schiff thing I dig up and I find out about Jacob Schiff, and Jacob Schiff was the financier. He worked with the Rothschilds. I don't remember if he was the lead, uh, like money management guy, I guess, for Rockefeller or not Rockefeller, but Rothschild. Well, Jacob Schiff had everything to do with it. He financed the whole thing. If you ever watch the movie The Last Samurai, he had everything to do with the overthrow of Japan as well. So, World War II and Pearl Harbor happened. It's because of what they did to Japan. Japan said, yes, we want a part of it. So it's like buying into AI now. What are all these other countries doing? You know, um, I can't get rid of this damn window. So it's like Japan buying into AI right now, and the United States saying, buying all their technology off of the United States, and then the United States saying, well, here's AI. These are the programs, but we're not going to give you the chips or the computers unless we charge you 5,000 times the price to do that, right? That's what they did with fuel. They sold them the entire system of mechanized, uh, industrial revolution machinery, and then they like tripled the cost of fuel because they don't have their own oil reserves in Japan. So they got fucking pissed. Old school Japan guys are like, yo, that's dishonorable and whatnot. Let's cut their fucking heads off. And they do this like they're a bunch of crazy people with this kamikaze shit. No, they knew that it was a one-way trip. Like, yo, there is no fuel, so it doesn't matter anyway, like, that was the whole point behind it, right? So, we no matter what people think about our military, like, this is the shit that these fuckers put our country into, and it's the same thing with the Bolshevik Revolution. Jacob Schiff was the great uncle to Adam Schiff, and this is why you're having problems. I'm telling you right now, me bringing this stuff up is why you're having problems getting onto my page. I'm sorry about it, but this is the same shit that ended up getting my fucking credit cards, my bank cards, my emails, my anything attached to my email stamp, like my digital ID, all frozen, man. This is not like funny stuff when that shit starts to happen to you. Like, how the fuck am I spending my money? I got to go to the bank physically, get out cash physically. Like, why are my cards not working? My Zelle got shut down. Anything attached to PayPal, which Zelle is, I think it's another subsidiary. But the whole trucker rally thing, all this shit happened during that Canadian trucker rally thing. And I had nothing to do with that, right? But this is the shit that happens. And this is the digital control. So I got a taste, the taste test early on for opening up your big fat fucking mouth, Shane. Um, so but I couldn't help it. I couldn't help digging into the whole topic the way that I did. And because it's like number one, it's fascinating because it's like everything that is exactly the opposite of what we're taught in all of our shit. Elon, I don't know who's PayPal, but got death threats for donating to that, do you? Blackmail system in place, corrupted in one way or another. Our government is not charged, as you know, and have told us, Zionists. So all this stuff is gathering of deities. All this stuff is run through, essentially, is run through Israel. I can't remember, like, so all these companies here, they dumped all their companies, like all their assets, their financial assets, sold everything off, sold everything off, and then transferred a lot of things over to Israel, like, as a central hub for all of it. So that was Meta. I think their key, um, corporate office is in Israel now, and I mean, it probably always was, right? But LifeLog created by DARPA. So that video last night kind of puts the beginning portions of this together. I'm gonna start getting into the Facebook shit and all that other stuff in the next video, which I'll probably do tonight because I'm kind of slacking on the whole book club thing here. But so that's why I just wanted to bring this all up as a precursor to why it's important to know those things in order to understand what's really going on with the air things and the paint can things and all that other shit, you know? So, um, where the hell was I going there? So we got data management. We started getting to last night. The project, it's not Gemini, but or Genesis. You got to look this up. Genysis. That was Project Genesis. That was another part of all of this, but it's all about data infrastructure, data management, data storage, data collection, data. And so when you're talking about all that shit with data centers, you know how they keep saying all this shit? Oh, data centers suck up all the water, right? Well, I'm watching construction companies tearing up my roads in every town that I drive through. There's some kind of traffic fucking mayhem that's never been there before. Suddenly, they're making it extremely uncomfortable to own a vehicle and try and drive yourself to somewhere in a timely manner. Um, that's a big part of driving the cost up. Like I said, my son's insurance as a 17-year-old kid costs me $2,000 every 6 months for his car insurance for his truck. $2,000 every 6 months. Like, what the hell is that? My older son, Shane, his was, can't remember what his was. It was like $1,100. And even that, then I was like, and this is like 6 or 7 years ago, but his was costing me like $1,100 every 6 months. And then previous to that, my daughters were like half of that, right? They're the two oldest. So I'm just like holy shit, man. Like, the point is they're driving you through social engineering into hating these things and into not wanting anything left to do with these physical commodities and comforts that we're used to, right? Anything that's like left over from um, the industrial world, you know. So contractors, you look at what we pay for gas, just driving around getting materials and stuff. You tack all this extra stuff on, it's so much more money. The gasoline thing, and they know it, and it's just to keep that boot like slammed into your jugular. But I'm watching all of that, and then I'm watching all of these data lines, which are high speed fiber optic cables that are running these big long stretches to all of the main, like down our prime artery between where the data centers are and these other locations, which are so for Pennsylvania, if anybody's near me or you know what these areas are. In northeastern Pennsylvania, there's a place out by Scranton, Pennsylvania. It's not Clark Summit. Uh, Archibald is the name of the town there. And they've got these methane things there's a big landfill there, right? Why do they burn all that off? Because there would be negative ions from the earth from the methane, the greenhouse gases kill that shit in the sky, right? The negative ions from methane. So what do? They burn it all off. If you ever go by a landfill, you wonder like why would they do that? But anyway, so that's one of those areas where one of these big giant plants is put up. I was a union carpenter. I almost had a job at that place putting it together. Um, a lot of guys I worked with are trained or were apprentices under me or whatever. All went to start working at that as a big project. But so that started up, and then now shortly after, just a bit north of where that's at, they're having this big argument on Archbold. It's Archbald. Look it up because the people are winning there. The people are literally winning this fight in the courts. Like they're about to go at people's throats over these things, you know. So, um, because they understand what the detriment will be to the way that their lifestyles are right now, right? Their houses are gonna be worthless, and it's not just because of noise and all that other stuff, but these things are just they're so bad. The data center idea is so bad. "Oh, they consume all this water." And I'm watching all the hyperbole between that. Then I'm watching the data lines, the fiber optic lines going in all the way out to our data centers. Um, what they're planning there, that this methane site is basically an arm of what these data centers would. I don't know how if it would feed it somehow. They're trying to get some kind of energy distribution out of it by using the methane as a secondary source of fuel. So the thing that I'm getting at here, it's resource management. This whole thing, I think at this point, it's resource management. And I think they're going to, through smart meters and whatnot, um, they're using these data centers as a distribution system. So I don't think it's that they use up all the water. I think that they're rerouting the mainframes for control through the smart Internet of Things, through these data centers as the management system for the allocation of whatever resources it is that you're after. So if it's water, guess what? All the data about it runs through that center, and then after monitoring the way that you live, and again, the graphene all around you has everything to do with measuring how all of that goes. But that's why the paint can thing is so important, because it's negative ions. It doesn't have to be paint cans. If you could figure out a way to maximize the output of negative ions, there's all kinds of different ways. I mean, people are talking about the vinegar thing. It works, but it's a temporary thing, and you only got so much vinegar, you know? Um, even the orgone thing, the orgone thing kinda works, but it's copper ions. They're increasing the price of copper because it fucks this stuff up. Copper ions are like a prime thing, but that mixed with, any kind of metallic iron ore or any ferrous metal, um, that electrochemical reaction between the 2 generates a really high output of negative ions, you know? So, well, I don't know about creating a water. Yeah, I don't think it's creating a water shortage, but they've had us poor with medical, judicial, and commodities forever. Insurance is the mafia for sure. Yeah, yeah. When did they ever do this? So that's what the whole water thing is all about, man. I think the whole water thing is about, um, there's going to be dramatic decreases in what you're allowed to use with your water resource coming from the water company. Another thing there with the water, you're looking at their filtration systems use graphene, like 100%. I've already looked it up. I've done, and I know it's the enemy, but sometimes I have to use AI. I just can't muscle through all of it. And you know what I have to do is I got to start taking modafinil again, because that's where um you guys got to look this up. Like they called it a nootropic. It's almost like an Adderall. No side effects. Your emotions become like pretty balanced while you're on it. It's not a harmful thing. I'm not telling you go get all drugged up so you can figure out the world. If we are gonna do that, at least have fun, get some fucking acid or something, you know? But, so that stuff is like it's the real, like, NZT or whatever. Remember that Bradley Cooper movie, Limitless? It's prescribed for ADD and narcolepsy. It does something with it balances the levels of the sleep endorphin thing. Oh my god, man, my brain. But I made that video last night, and as soon as I shut my laptop, zap, like, I had the worst migraine. It didn't go away till just about a half hour, maybe 45 minutes ago. I mean, it's not just a coincidence that that happens, you know, and I was too fucking stupid. I didn't take the laptop and unplug it and just, you know, shut the internet off like I usually would, you know, but, so this stuff isn't a joke when you start to do this stuff on a scale where, you know, a lot of people start to hear you. You guys are having a lot of problems with, you know, getting onto this site. I couldn't get the laptop to attach to the internet for the hotspot on my phone out here. So I'm probably gonna have to run a hard cable out here one of these days. Um, so you know, that's what I'm gonna do tonight is I'm gonna do the same thing I did last night. I'm gonna do a continuation of the descriptions and the evolution of all of these technologies coming into what they are right now. And I mean, I don't know about the politics being a savior here. We've got a great guy here in Pennsylvania, Jamie Walsh. I mean, I have no faith in politics whatsoever at this point, but this guy has been bringing up a lot about these data centers and why they're detrimental. And I have had a lot of conversations with him. Actually, has a paint can, by the way. That's awesome. But, he was the guy who got me on another on Marky Denenbaum's, What a Week podcast on YouTube. That's the name of it is What a Week podcast. But I went and did that podcast there with him and talked about all of, you know, how the data centers go, what AI is really doing, and, you know, like, if you guys look at my on my Facebook page, right? Look at my new profile picture, which is actually a really old profile picture from 2021, and it's like the old Robin Williams thing where he's like a robot looking over a book or something, and I did this face swap app at the time where I put my face on the robot face, and, I said this thing, you know, like, "This is me," you know, looking into the book, trying to figure out how to detox from the, hypersonic dart that I got, you know, the vaccine dart that nailed me from the 1,000 meters away by the robot dog that got dropped off by the drone sent by Bill Gates and Klaus Schwab, you know? And, like, transhumanism something, but you go look at it and just read the like, that's old. That's how long ago, like, 2021, you know, like, there was a whole group of us that were, like, hardcore, probably why all this stuff stayed alive on the internet, you know? It's, these people like Cindy Niles and Julianne Romanello, and I mean, a lot of them. I mean, it's the whole thing with those guys in Sabrina Wall, you know, like, I don't know if they're just, like, facetious, I mean, I understand why they don't trust anybody and all that stuff if that's I don't know, I don't understand it, but, like, I'm not gonna tiptoe around saying, you know, that there's people out here that are controlled op or any of that stuff. Like, they talk about some, and they're all guilty. Like, all these different camps of people are all guilty in those arguments about, like, all right, I don't like that guy. You can't be friends with him. You're not a member of our truth or community anymore. Like, that's just so fucking stupid, all of that shit to me. So I don't give a fuck what any of them say at this point. But Penelope Whitworth, she was one of them for a long time. Bantam Joe, a lot of people say, oh, well, he used to be in the military and he made, you know, so he's a friend of mine. But at the same time, he would, you know, so he was in the military. He was one of the original designers of the Mortal Kombat video game, and, very smart old cat. He's, like, in his 70s, had a few phone conversations with him. Aman Jabi, he's one of the guys that was responsible for, creating an infrared lens that it was a hybrid of infrared and, visual lens for cameras, you know? NZT, our body can make it. I don't know about that. Nootropics and it works. Oh, yeah, I'm telling you, this stuff is modafinil. It's modafinil, yeah. But, I immediately like, I did 3 weeks worth of sales paperwork in, like, 3 hours the one night. I just sat down like, "You gotta fucking get it done. You're gonna get fired, man," you know? So it definitely works, but you know, I had this, addiction, not in a sense where, like, I need that, right, because it's a pill. But it was because, like, I was able to focus on literally everything. It was like I installed, I know it's Windows, but, like, just say I was able to compartmentalize every thought. Like, I would have a prime thought and all the subcategories, and I'd file it off. Like, it's literally like how your brain starts to work while you're doing that, So I would be able to have conversations here. Like, how I'm all over the place when I start talking? That stuff there, like, it literally compartmentalizes everything, and, like, it gives me these files to choose from. Your memory starts flooding back in. It's just it's amazing, but I did that for about 5 years, and I'll tell you, like, that's probably the prime reason I was able to see through all this stuff as effectively as I was, and, so I started taking it again right after COVID, and I was just, like, on top of everything. It didn't matter what came out, I saw through it, I saw the network in it, why the lies were here, and what they needed to be there for. Um, so it definitely works in that regard. As far as don't go taking it because I said it's awesome or any of that stuff, but I'll tell you, for a guy like me, that was the answer. My brain is all over the place all the time. And after you make all those neural connections, they don't really go away. My memory did start to suffer a lot after that, but I don't know if that has anything really to do with it. So, I mean, that's another possibility. But so anyway, yeah, I mean, I wanted to bring that up as far as the main topic here was like what the data centers are for, how AI is supposed to function, um, the aggregation of everything about you in real time. Everything about you. When I say everything, guys, y- your most you ever hear that joke? What's the most sensitive, this is a construction guy thing. What's the most sensitive part of your body when you're jerking off? It's your ears. It's like, "Oh, what the fuck was that?" Right? That made me laugh so hard the first time I heard it. I was like, wow, like, from the time you're 14 or 15, the first time you start toying around, like, "What?" Like, "What's that? That's wild. This is great." But it's that, right? There is no, privacy whatsoever in what they're about to do here, and it's your emotions, it's all of those personal times, right? Um, it's all of it. It's literally all of it. Yeah, it's modafinil is the nootropic. Yeah, modafinil is definitely a one. Um, it dehydrates you though physically, so for some reason, I remember it being dehydrated all the time when I took it. But, the point is that your emotions, everything in your body that is measurable by a frequency is going to be monitored, man. Dennis is in here? I don't see his comments anywhere. See, here we go, like, and people are saying all this other stuff. Oh, prescription medication used to promote wakefulness in patients. Yeah, but what it does is it blocks that, what is it called? Um, that's the reason for narcolepsy and ADD both. Oh my god, I can't believe I can't think of this freaking word, man. What does your brain put out? Serotonin, melatonin. Melatonin, isn't it? Or no, serotonin is right, I think. Sleep receptors it is, yeah. So, um, I'm blocked? Dennis, yeah, I can see you now. I'm blocked? Um, yeah, sleep receptors, but it blocks all that off, and it's just like your brain is in pure light mode at all times. I'll tell you, like, it immediately, I got so much smarter and so much more focused on everything I got involved in. That's when I started really hitting books extremely hard after COVID. I mean, I was already into reading books, but the books that I started to choose were now like information juicy books, man. Like the and this, one of my favorite books. What got me moving here was like, hey, communism is hitting our country through a germ right now. The bat was a communist. Um, the uh, the Naked Communist by Cleon Skousen. Man, that book just lays the entire thing out, and you could see it's just like the same game over and over and over again. Um, it's just different technologies, and it like that's when I realized, like, holy shit, this goes all the way back to Egypt. Every single overthrow was the same way. It was always from the inside. It was always in this communist fashion, where this totalitarianism comes in, and these systems of governance are just so uh, like just nasty and gnarly and let's kill everybody kind of thing. Like it's crazy, man. It's crazy. I just need a new brain. No, I mean you Adderall. I don't know. I've never taken it. I think I did try to take it once. I don't remember, but, I did try to take that once, and I did not like the feeling. I got a feeling from it. But anyway, modafinil is a totally different thing. Like, don't take it after noon. I mean, I've literally gone 2 days straight without any sleep at all, but I couldn't even tell the difference that I didn't sleep, you know? Uh, so anyway, I think I am going to do that again because it's kinda critical. I gotta keep my brain moving here, and there's a lot of shit going on around me, but so that's what I'm gonna do tonight, and the whole book club thing is another big issue for me here. I should have, gotten myself something together on a book club. I was hoping we could change that around and do something else because I mean, I don't wanna just have people come in and pay for a subscription, and I got all these videos of me reading to people and chopping up the words, and, um, I like to add in my own um, acknowledgments or um, elaborations on whatever those topics are. But when you start going into these ideas like the we made the stars, all I can tell you is that if I had modafinil, you guys would already know, like, wow. Right, like that's just my son. I gave it to my son when he just started up college at Wilkes College, and, he had a wrestling scholar not a wrestling scholarship, they gave him a scholarship because he was a great wrestler, but, um and he just started there. He's like, "Dad, I can't freaking focus on any of this stuff, this is so hard." I said, "Alright, well, try that," and I said, "Don't get, like, crazy," but, he started saying this, he's like, "Wow, man, I was able to think," and, whatever, he's 19, I think, at the time, and, we always have these jokes about the Jews, and like we both know what the European Jew compared to the Palestinian Jew, like we've both he actually wrote a book on it. He's editing a book. He already has like a 3 or 400-page book, and he's 25. He just wrote that book. So he's starting a Substack as well. But I told him I said it's a great idea, but don't limit yourself to just that one topic. But he's a super sharp kid, and the one day I was like, "You know what? I gotta get us some more modafinil." I said to him, he goes, "Oh my god, could you imagine? The Jews are so fucked if we get modafinil." It's like the whole all of Israel will just fall apart if we get modafinil. We explode the whole fucking thing, like, it was just kind of funny. It was really funny. Yeah, that dude, he's got a sense of humor. Is just that's why I said if we ended up getting pot. I don't smoke pot. I don't smoke pot. I don't know about that. I've done it in my life, but man, elderberry does awesome things for my brain, both mental health and brain functionality. Elderberry, I heard stuff about that before. Yeah, the Egypt stuff is good shite. Need to stay focused there, but do it your way. Yeah, that's a hard sell because I mean a lot of people can't remove themselves from like where this is a globe and all. It's a hard topic, right? Most people cannot get rid of themselves to get there, And it's not a matter of spirituality. I spoke with this guy the other day. He's actually got a few different books out, and he's a, like, hardcore hermeticist and stuff, and I said, "What do you think about helping me write this book?" I said, "It's gonna be hard for me to get through all of the ins and outs," and he's just a real sharp guy with alchemy. I actually have a couple of his books, and, he's local here, though, and I gave him a call, and I'm like, "What do you think about helping me write?" "They didn't mean that," he says, "they didn't mean that literally. It was Like, how the fuck else did they mean it then, man? I'm telling you, that's what the whole thing was about. That's why all of NASA and all this, everything about these secret initiatic schools is completely about keeping everybody else in the dark and they're in the light, all of the words in all of those books, right? They're in the light. Doesn't necessarily mean that they all know the biggest, grandest secret. I told you it. That is the biggest, grandest secret. We live inside of a bubble. There's water outside. We create the stars by being the best version of ourselves on Earth. You want to hear a cool song? See if you go look this in this song. I was driving before down to town by me here. Hold on. And that was what the hell is his name? This guy has he has a lot of really good music. But I'm gonna tell you a song to go and look up. Um so it's Highly Suspect is the name of the band. You might not like it. It's a little harder, newer stuff. Um what the hell was playing here? It's not showing. So I'm gonna go to the album Serotonia. Trying to pause it here real quick so I can do. I wish that everyone I knew was dead. Can't figure out how to do it. I'm trying to go to the goddamn album. There we go. Go to the album. All right. So I'm going to read you the lyrics off of this song. And you got to hear this song because it's extremely, extremely relevant to the way that things are going now. Right. But all of these singers, actors, anybody that makes it real big, right? They're all into this whole Illuminati thing. You've got to give up something to be on the screen, And I think that that's what it is. I don't think they even get screen time if they're not initiated, right? So again, the other day I had kind of a flop there because I couldn't find the spot in the Red Hot Chili Pepper song, but it's just all of the Red Hot Chili Pepper songs are littered with these things, right? So My Name is Human is the name of this song. And I played this a couple years ago, and when Facebook was allowing you to attach a song to your stories and stuff, and it hits the nerve on what it is. It hits the nerve on what this is all really is. It says, "I'm feeling the way that I'm feeling myself. Fuck everyone else. Got to remember that nobody's better than anyone else here." I think he's, basically talking about Earth, and so. Do you need some time to think it over? Is there a chorus? Look what they do to you. Look what they do to me. You must be joking if you think that either one is free here. Get up off your knees, girl. Stand face to face with your God, basically the mirror, right? And follow what you are. Hello, my name is Human. Hello, my name is Human, and I came down from the stars, right? Hello, my name is Human. I'm ready for love and I'm ready for war, but I'm ready for more. I know that nobody's ever been this fucking ready before. Hey, do you need some time to think it over is the chorus? So figure it out or don't figure it out. I figured it out. The bigger the river, the bigger the drought. Get up off your knees, boy. Stand face to face with your God and find out what you are. Hello, my name is Human. Hello, my name is Human. And I came down from the stars. Hello, my name is Human. Fire world, I love you. Fire world, I'm up off my knees, girl. I'm face to face with myself, and I know who I am. He says in the song. It's a great song. Hello, my name is Human, and I stole the power from the sun. Right, I am more than just a man. Right, the Rosicrucians. That's their prayers to become more than just man. Hue, color in the man, human. So, no longer disillusioned. I'm not asking questions because questions have answers and I don't want answers. I came down from the stars, so I'll take my chances. I'll take my chances, right? You don't only get one life to live. It happens over and over and over again. I'll take my chances because I came from the stars, right? And what are the chances that I could advance on my own circumstances? Said, what are the chances? Hello, my name is Human. I don't want your answers. I'm not asking questions. So keep your answers, and I know who I am. Um, and something I'm taking my chances. So, like, it's that whole thing, when you start to look at everything from the esoteric perspective, all these things start making sense to you. Like, at this point now, like, I see how it all came to be, in a way. So it's so hard for everybody that says, "Well, I went to school and I learned this, and this high school diploma, it means so much, and this college degree means so much, and this MD and PhD and all it means so much." And it's exactly the opposite. The more you feed into all of that, the worse it gets. The worse it gets for you. You get locked out. Like the vaccinated population, I think the numbers were ridiculous. It was like 80% of the people that were pushing like hardcore and getting vaccinated was like 80, it might have been 70 or 80% of the population that did get vaccinated was of higher education, right? So why? Because they keep following the fucking structure that was built on all the lies, the Rockefeller medical system shit, and like what? So now you start to see, you just know when you know. Yeah, and then when you hear it, there's a guy like that was one of those things, the whole parent thing, like, we came from the stars. That was one of those neurological things, like, I'm constantly bridging things together, and I don't mean it as, like, I'm great and somebody else isn't. It's just this was one of those things that happened to be, like, what the hell were the pyramids really for? And then, like, because I was so into Egypt as I was reading about it, like, I was reading about their spirituality and all that stuff, it just popped one day. I was like, great astronomers, and then bam, like, what are the chances? And then I started looking up all of the places on Earth that matched the stars. Why do they keep having the wars in all of those places and destroying the infrastructures in all of those places? They don't want people knowing. They don't want people knowing that that's where they came from. Vietnam and Cambodia, man, Angkor Wat got fucked up because of that. So it's a gift. Don't dismiss it. Yeah, it's a gift. There's no doubt about it. I see a lot more than a lot of other people do, but like, the point is to get people my biggest deal here is to get people to the point where they see it all, right? Like, if I came up to you and said, "Hey, this great car over here is going to," like, just to see through all the lying bullshit in the world, is my ultimate goal here. If you can get a lot of people to that point, which I'm doing good. Like, the ratings are awesome, man. I'm still in the top 10. We need more. I almost had one. I'm looking at all these doctors, these PhDs and stuff now beneath me today. I'm like, yeah, bitch. you know? So, but it's important. It's important that people, like, right now more than any other time in all of history, we see it. We're able to see what they're doing with AI, what they're doing with these governance and these control systems. We see it, but we can't get everybody else to see it. It's just like, wake the fuck up. Tell your kids, I know they got vaccinated, right? The army thing and the college educated kids, right? Neuromodulation stuff. How are you going to get through to those people? How that big of a population of people? How are you going to get through to the way that they're thinking when they're being neurally nudged by AI to stay thinking whatever the hell they were trained to think? Like, nothing else will make sense to them. That's the terrifying part. And I said that 5 years ago. What if this is like a brain thing? I said that a long time ago. What if? I didn't say like it definitely is. I said, what if it's like neuromodulation and all that stuff was definitely a thing on my mind? But it's a possibility because of the whole frequency and energy and vibration thing. Like, everything works that way, measuring what your organs are doing and all that stuff. I can repair certain parts of my body based on the frequency that they put out in whatever organ with that. Brain farts only happen to hyper intelligent. I'm convinced brain farts only happen to hyper intelligent. I'm free. Like, my mind is free. That's the whole thing. The bad part about my mind is the memory and the future thought is gone. Like, I don't give a fuck what happens then or then. Like, I'm right here, right now. The best I can make myself in any situation, I am already, right? That is what I am standing here. So, to constantly make myself better, evolve over and over and over again, always be open to new things, to new ideas, to new manners of doing whatever, right? and I think that none of us are. Like, we're trained to be, "You're a good bus driver," you know? "You are a good librarian," whatever it is that you are. "You are a good policeman," you know? I'm a good anything I wanna be is the way that I am, In this moment here, I am able to do whatever the hell comes at me, by being a creator, by having my hands on things, trying to figure things out, learn things, on my own. Remember they were doing all this stuff a couple of years ago? It was getting real big on the internet where people were making all these crazy things out of fucking soda bottles and gallon jugs and things like that. You don't see that as much anymore because people are doing shit like this now with the electro culture and other stuff, but it's going to start getting phased out that people are going to be exposed to that kind of stimuli. Go out and build something, right? It's that hunger to go out and be a creator and things. Um, that's going to start getting beat down. What is absolutely genius? Jobs. Love being a fucking weirdo. I embrace it fully. Me too. Jobs, money, ego is possibly the reason blended with EMF and wave frequency. Yeah, and so I was just thinking about that this morning. I was going over to the post office. So my morning routine is I'll drive over to the post office, see if anybody made any orders, stop at the bank, drop off the checks, get halfway home and realize they didn't give me any additional information. Here's my phone number, none of that shit, you know. Hint, hint. If you order, give me your goddamn phone number at least. But, and I was just thinking about, like, how corrupted the system is and how it's all pushed by finance, and then again, you gotta go back into the history of the Acadians creating finance and currency and coinage, and, that's their vampiric system. It's to create whatever that value is, the whole Enlil and Enki thing, or the Enki or Enlil that is holding the pine cone and the purse thing. I did that on one of these videos. I don't know if it was on here yet. But, the it doesn't matter what's in the purse as long as I'm controlling the brain, right? The pine cone represents the pineal gland, the mind. If I can steer that mind, it doesn't matter what's in that purse. So the people, this is how all of it gets done, right? We have women in our society that give up their entire fucking future with some guy that's a total douchebag because he's a doctor or a lawyer or whatever. He's going to be rich. I'm sticking with him, right? It's all about money. Like, that's how fucked our society is. They've sacrificed their future to be with somebody they may not like because he's going to have the money of the day, right? Well, now it's all digital, ain't shit, right? Like, that's where we get swayed. It's the greed of men. I'm going to keep chasing the dollars. I'm going to go after this. And what are the doctors or the lawyers doing, right? They're pushing this system onto us, right? Chasing after the money. So that's and it's not the money, is the how they get corrupted, right? The money is the mechanism that they're measured by, that we're all measured by. That belongs to the system. The money is never yours, man. It is never yours. So it doesn't matter. It's theirs. It's how they measure how much can we get this dog to do tricks for, right? How many biscuits will it take for, you know, for Scruffy to climb up the tree and grab the rope? Like, that's literally what money is used for. You know, so it's not that they can't create more or anything, but that's the fucking game in it, is being the one that distributes it when it's pumped up to mean something. So it's worthless. It's all worthless in the context of the real world where, I can't eat that money if I'm stuck out in the middle of the goddamn, Yellowstone Park with the bears coming after me, like, need to add likes here. Find a way is always. Think we need to start using Zoom or something else. Wi-Fi says unstable, and I'm missing over 30 seconds of this chat to watch the video later. Have a great night, y'all. Yeah, it's tough, man. So I'd go for the farmer first these days. All about food now, prepping, assets over banking. And that's the point where we got it. We got to get back to the point where it's I always say this and I can't think of it right now, but the principle over profit. It's just one of my favorite things to say. It's principle over profit. I'm not after the money to do this or the money to do that. And I got to pay my shitty ass bills that are built up in this system of whatever it is. But I would trade all of this right now for a hut down in Paraguay is a neat one I keep hearing about. Um, what's the other one? There's another one down there I've been thinking about that I keep looking at pictures on YouTube and watching videos of how beautiful it is down in South America, you know. But anywhere where this shit is not, you know. You know what I was looking at the other day? So I ran through the first roll of labels that I printed out on the new printer, and look at this thing. It's on the inside of the label roller. There's a fucking microchip, a bunch of microchips on the roller that the labels were on. But, like, isn't that wild? Like, what the fuck is that thing? But just it's crazy. It's freaking crazy. All this stuff is crazy, you know? And you're definitely crazy for talking about it with me. You're all crazy. So get more people to get crazy, you know? Ecuador was the one I was thinking of, yeah. Um, it does the unstable thing to me only for your lives. Yeah, I know, Fancy Pants. I don't know who controls it. I know there's a lot of AI in it here, but they haven't really locked me down yet like the other platforms have. You know, it hasn't been the thing with Facebook. Here, so I'll read you something from the AI chat that I was having. I just want to read about the infrastructure stuff with the water and whatever else. Distribution and management systems, the whole smart city thing. I've been through this like a few years ago, and I kept on saying it louder and louder and louder. Stop looking at the politics. Stop looking at the wars. Stop looking at the racism and the Black Lives. Stop with all like look at this smart city thing. You got to look at it. You know, if that's that one thing that is the focal point. You do that little picture in art class where you have all the corners and you draw them up to that one focal point. To make it look like a 3-dimensional drawing. The focal point in every fucking thing that we are experiencing now in this world is the smart city agenda. I said that 5 years ago. Smart cities, BlackRock. I'm yelling all these things, and people are going, "You're fucking nuts." My one buddy is extremely wealthy, and we were working at his house at the one time, at this time, and I'm like, every time he'd say something, he'd say, "I know, BlackRock," right? And I'm like, "Yeah, you're right." But they don't want to hear it, man. Like their life is good. They don't care. They don't need to care. Right? They're making their money in this system that they can't see their way out of. They don't care to. I'm comfortable here now. Well, it's coming from the top down. Those people um accountants, lawyers, the people installing this shit, right? The police, um, state police, governors, politicians, they are all literally working themselves out of jobs, pushing all this AI shit. And it's built that way so they can't see that they're doing it, right? Here's $300,000 in money that's going to be absolutely worthless when this whole system takes over. They don't see that. They see the mainstream stories, the newspaper, the this, the that, whatever, right? They see the mainstream stuff. They don't see the big fucking picture. You're going to be without a job and you're going to be another fucking pleb just like me, you stupid ass. Get the fuck off of that train, man. Join us and understand what you're doing here, Postcards by my house once a week, follow the company. Yeah. Blackstone is the biggest one, man. Looking at the stars now is so awesome. Definitely see they're mirrored. Different angle, not as bright as the major pyramid stars. Trust this makes sense. Bruiser, it is the most fascinating thing. When you go out, like I did this last year, I went out and I just laid in my grass. I took my shirt off. It was nighttime. I might have had a couple of beers before. I don't usually drink, but when I do, I make sure I get the job done. But and I laid out there and I was just looking at the stars, just slowly moving over. I actually took my kids. I was trying to photography at one time. Got real good with a camera, and I could never get a solid picture of the planets because the sky is moving. And there's you really got to know how to set the camera up. And I just didn't have the equipment for it. But man, I could not get a clear picture of any of the stars or the planets for that matter. Anyway, I'm just laying there watching them, and I'm going, "Oh my god," like, you can see the Milky Way and all this stuff going by, and I'm thinking to myself, like, "I think that's the Atlantic Ocean is what the Milky Way is what I literally think that. But, the ocean itself is crystalline in structure. It means it's vibratory, it resonates, and it glows. It's bioluminescence. And then you stack different atmospheres of water on top of each other. You got more weight on the crystalline salt, piezoelectrical energy, like in the paint cans, right? The ocean is the brightest part of the moon. All the land masses are the darkest parts of the moon. Then you reverse the image of the moon, and you've got the Leeson's flat Earth map, right? The United Nations map, the WHO and CDC map, right? So it's like 100% I'm there. I'm watching all of it. It's for sure right. It is absolutely for sure right. And I knew it the first time I saw it, and I knew it. I just knew it. Yeah, it does make sense. I mean, once we all get there, I mean, once if I can get this book done, I'll have a much not I have the fucking time to do that. But uh, all right. So I'll read these to you, and then I'll conclude this for tonight. But I asked it about the resources management type stuff, right? So the AI would serve as a centralized hub to optimize and manage the flow of critical resources like water, electricity, and food. It would analyze real time data on usage patterns, weather conditions, and demand forecasts to allocate resources efficiently. The design would involve integrating Internet of Things sensors throughout the city's infrastructure. What type of sensors? Graphene, right? It's graphene. It's all graphene. Um, Allowing the AI to monitor and control systems such as power grids, water treatment plants, and agricultural zones. For example, in managing water resources, the AI could detect leaks or contamination in real time. Like, that's so great, right? That's awesome. Look what it'll be able to do. And pump graphene into your fucking body. It's unreal. So AI could detect leaks or contamination in real time and redirect flows accordingly. It might also adjust irrigation systems based on soil moisture levels and weather predictions. Weather predictions, drones, AI controlling drones, controlling the weather, the way that the weather behaves to control the rest of these outcomes on Earth, right? So, similarly, for electricity, the AI could balance supply and demand by coordinating renewable energy sources like solar and wind farms, as well as adjusting consumption in buildings and industries. Food production could be optimized by the AI through controlled environment agriculture, where factors like temperature, humidity, and lighting are precisely managed to maximize yields. The AI might also predict and prevent food waste by analyzing consumption patterns and logistics. Overall, the AI would aim to create a seamless, self regulating ecosystem where resources are distributed equitably and sustainably, minimizing waste and environmental impact. Right? You got to hear Julianne Romanello talking about this stuff. Go look her up on Facebook, Julianne Romanello. She is just sharp, but those are the words. She would always talk about these buzzwords back in the day, like 4 or 5 years ago, and she went and started doing all these seminars, talking to college, professors and teachers and saying, "Look at the way they're changing the wording for children to start thinking by," you know? "I've gotta be right, I'm now frozen." Get out of here, am I? Extra land on the moon map? I don't know about the extra land yet. I know that's I don't know about that part. I know the other stuff lines up, though. Yes, Shane, that is it. I don't know what you mean. After having a couple drinks, sometimes I think the stars are moving, then I realize I'm spinning. Yeah. I don't drink that often, so it really hits me when it hits me. Um, Only be allowed to buy 2 articles of clothing. Extraterrestrial connection I've always made, but who knows? There's no extraterrestrials unless they're made of light, I don't think. That's my personal opinion. So I brought up with it also Pennsylvania American Water is the company that I use that we have here in Pennsylvania. They control how everything is distributed, and they've been working on these pipes for the last 4 years, just like you've been seeing them working up on the data poles and the electric poles. and your telephone poles, whatever you want to call them. All this construction going on since the beginning, but it's all communication stuff. And I asked it about Pennsylvania American Water specifically, as I've already done. I've done the research, just where to look. So this gives you sources. It's called Venice AI. It's I think it's $18 a month. I've been using this for probably about 6 or 7 months. But it's the only one that I get the like the purest forms of answers out of it. I've only caught it trying to bullshit me like a couple different times, uh, but I always leverage something else against it because I'm never going to just fully trust AI ever at all. So anyway, but graphene, I was asking about where is graphene. That was one of the topics. I had a huge, long conversation with it about graphene. Where is it and why is it? How is it? What is it in? And all this stuff because I knew of the other factors that were there, which was that it can be read by infrared, you know, visualization or imaging systems, like LiDAR and all that. And that was the conversation. I kept saying, like, how this and how this and how this. And I get all these little sub bullets on just how all of it actually works. And I know it inside out about the graphene thing. That is 100% real. If you could stop graphene, you can stop AI. You can stop the whole push on all of this stuff. You can stop climate change. You can stop geoengineering. You stop all of it. But literally, everybody's got to go out and make these fucking things like right now. I can't possibly provide as many are needed. It's by people, and it's like so. It's not about buying them from me. I'm telling you, come onto this page or get people onto this page so that they know, but you don't want it to be a fully public thing where it's just like a mainstream hit, right? You notice they don't give any shit to the guys that are talking about the organized stuff. Like the pages are fully open. There's like 30, 40,000 likes on these posts that these guys have. That's the reason. These are the real deal. Those things are like half productive. They're not worried about those. They are worried about these. If I can show you all of the messages through my Facebook, the different levels of people that have been trying to friend request me, order them, gouge me for information, and keep probing me for information. Like, hey, who has them? Who makes them in my area? Or who makes them in any area? Where could I get them in Canada? Where could I get them in the UK? Right? And you go and I look up every profile of every one of those requests. It's they had 3 friends, no profile picture, 8 friends, 12 friends. I literally have 100 of them on the first. So you have a spam folder on Facebook, and I have not stopped getting those since I started putting the paint can things up. And I don't know how many of them are in the paint can brigade group. So my point here is it has to stay behind the paywall, and you've got to keep it private in the real world with you and your friends or your township or your community or whatever. Don't make a big internet thing out of it. Get more people over here or on your own Substack talking about them or wherever, but keep it all behind paywalls. I'm telling you, you're going to find a workaround for it somehow or some way. And that's why I'm not doing. That's the biggest reason that I'm not still doing as active on the Paint Can Brigade group. Those will work and all that. And I mean, it's just I don't the mystery is in this, right? And so it's not about the attracting more people because of that mystery. It's them not knowing what the fuck is going on inside of here, right? I don't want people following me in here that have no fucking clue. Like I put a post up the other day and it was like one of the units in the box and there had to be 500 comments. What is it? What is it? What is it? I mean, if they were real people, right? You're talking about this thing and no, you're not even telling anybody what the fuck it is and all these like cocky comments. What is it? That looks ridiculous. Like blah 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 blah. Go through my posts on Facebook. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. You'll catch 20. I just had a guy threaten me before. Would you say that to my face? Like, yeah, fuck yeah, I would say that to your face. I told him he smokes dicks or something like that. I said, quit. Or no, brushing his teeth with fluoride and dicks. I told him because I'm so sick of them. I'm so sick of them on that page. I can't stand them. It's really bad. Yeah, go down my page. You'll see exactly why I came to Substack because I can't do all of this stuff over there without getting heckled and harassed. And the other bad part is that other people are getting bombarded with negative information. So they see one of these comments and they're deterred from wanting to do it, right? And when I say do it, not buying from me, I'm saying from at least making their own, you know? And I make a point on all of those public posts on Facebook, make one yourself immediately. Do it now, you know? It is bad. It's just bad. But anyway, the AI thing with Pennsylvania American Water is currently installing advanced meter infrastructure, AMI, as part of their 2025 investments to improve water and wastewater systems across the state. This involves upgrading existing meters and installing new automated meter reading devices, the smart meters. They're on the water meters as well. They're on your gas meters as well. The electric is like a small part of it, but that's the one that affects you the most because it's right on the other side of the wall. It's all wireless. It's pumping through your body, creating your migraines and all that stuff. All those electrons trapped in your little vinyl house, Ziploc bag where, you know, the AMR technology allows for remote and efficient reading of water usage without the need for physical access to each meter, which can be affected by weather conditions. This system provides more accurate billing and eliminates the need for estimated billing. However, based on the provided information, it does not appear that Pennsylvania American Water is rerouting the actual water supply through the AI system. They're just giving the data center control over that wireless system, right? So now they're doing all this wireless shit. Sorry, guys, Israel and China or Iran hacked all of our smart infrastructure. Oops, right? That's what we're looking at. It's probably going to happen is the way that they're going to distribute that or justify it. You know, as far as the global dominion over mankind, you know. People don't understand bot farms. Yeah, I've seen those. Those are another one. Yeah, they're relentless, man. And that's how I fish them out on whether they're a troll or a bot, you know? So fight with my utility company every 2 months. Yeah, this stuff is just it's nuts. But so I'm gonna try and do part two of that video I did last night. So that I at least can add some legitimacy to my lunacy here, you know. I know I'm always all over the goddamn place because I don't know what I'm doing from one day to the next and hour to hour. And the attacks on my head are just, it's freaking brutal, man. That migraine that I had all day today was just, I was dying from it. So I try to stay away from my phone while it's like that. That's the first time I got a migraine in a long time since I started using the earthing and grounding blankets. Um, I usually don't keep anything plugged in next to me, but I don't know if I'm electrically sensitive. I don't know what it is, but man, oh man, when that shit hits me, it literally feels like brain damage. Havana syndrome from within your own home, right? The smart city stuff, smart devices, smart TVs, all those smart things communicating in your house, you know, bombarding you with electrons. That's the radiation that you're supposed to be worried about. Why lead paint? Why don't I want to like redo the inside of my house? Because it's all old plaster walls with lead paint under those layers somewhere, right? You know, so I'm really reluctant to do it, but it needs it, you know. Um, and lead is not about blocking; it's about absorbing radiation. You know, that's the way that it works because it's a soft, dense material. It's kind of, I was just thinking about that before. Like, how would I explain that? But it's like banging on a drum skin, right? Where the stick makes no sound at all, but the drum skin would. And then you change it to the table. Now the drumstick is making its own reverberation because it's hitting a material that's equally hard as it, and then you change it to a rock. Well, now the rock's not making any sound at all. All of the vibration is being made by, right. So that's how vibration works in these different densities of materials, you know, and with light and with sound and all the things that it is, you know. So vibration and frequency is how all of this stuff is going to work. It's all going to work through light. Um, all of it, all of it, all the data transmission, all of it is going to be through light. That's what AI is going to be in full control of how vibrations or wavelengths of all types interact with each other. It's going to be able to influence all of that, you know. So probably even in architecture and design work, like the possibilities with this shit are unreal. So, but I'm going to end this right now. I just gave you an idea. Let me know what it is so we could get rich together here, genius. Agree, genius. Screen time. Let's do a reverse bot farms. Yeah, I would love that. Um, Too much screen time. Felt like you. Come on, what's the idea? Hurry up. Hurry up. I gotta go. We can get rich with their bullshit money. Oh, I can afford to go to Ecuador. I would sell all my shit right now. Somebody said if I had a trade with an Ecuadorian, a rich Ecuadorian, hey, you want to come live in the United States? Oh, it's fucking awesome there. Yeah, it is. Oh man, spit it out, genius. They just said, "Oh my god, come on." Other video. All right, fine. Whatever. I gotta go, guys. It was nice bullshitting with you tonight, but we got to get to place number one here, man. I gotta beat out all of these doctors and PhDs. I'll be so proud of myself. That'll be my lifetime trophy right there. He ain't telling everyone what? He ain't telling everyone. What do you mean? All right, I don't know, man. But I'm tired. I'm tired, and this freaking headache just finally went away right before I did this video. I could not log on to this computer. It would not attach itself to the Wi-Fi coming off of the hotspot from my phone. The fucking thing wouldn't even open up. I'm telling you, there's a lot of shit going on around me that's just not good. Very weird, very weird. First view. Thanks. Good show. Thanks, Ken. Thank you. Um, all right, man. I guess I'll put that part two together tonight. It's gonna get pretty lengthy because we're talking about Regina Dugan, we're talking about Facebook, we're talking about the lies behind all of these big corporations that were at one time a DARPA affiliate or started by previous DARPA employees, right? Like, why did Regina Dugan, if Facebook was not LifeLog, why did Regina Dugan, the one-time CEO of DARPA or whatever, go to work for Facebook after LifeLog turned into Facebook, right? That's what we're gonna chase down with all of this stuff, and this is why Havana syndrome is what's hitting me every fucking night I'm trying to go to sleep. Hey, we love you. I love you guys too, man. I really enjoy it. I enjoy it. I enjoy our conversations, man. Think about doing Zoom calls. It's the same shit if it's internet controlled. So, all right, guys. Peace. I'll see you in that video I do later tonight. I'm gonna lay down and hopefully I don't get Havana again. See ya. End. Come on.